Am I the only one that's got frustrated when something has broken? And it's nobody's fault, except it's an inconvenience and I have to work at it, but I get frustrated. Because it's something I've got to fix. Our horse running away this morning fits into this so perfect. I couldn't ask for a better real-to-life experience. Because, you know, Sunday mornings are kind of specifically planned out for me. I got to get up at a certain time. I have to be walking out the door at a certain time. I got to be getting here at a certain time because we got to get all this set up and all this kind of stuff. And you got a horse that's run away, and I couldn't really even go help get it. My margins. When my margins decrease, my stress level just goes whoosh. But that's not the only thing that happens. When your margin decreases, what happens to our relationships? Your relational intimacy decreases. Imagine a dining room table in 2010 with a particular family. Just think about it. Everybody's sitting around for supper, and you got mom, you got dad, you got the kids. Would it surprise you that everybody has their cell phone out doing something on it? At that kitchen table, that dining room table. Robin, would you be surprised by that sight today? Not at all. It doesn't even have to be a dining room table. Let's say everybody went to Olive Garden. We're going to go to Olive Garden for dinner. You know, it's April and my anniversary. And so we're sitting there, and I'm checking email. April's texting her mom and dad. The kids are texting April's mom and dad. Right? She does text a lot. Man, it used to be we talked at the table, right? I'm guilty of that. April's gotten on to me before. We'll go get something for lunch. I've got my phone out. I'm checking emails and doing this. And my mind's somewhere else. I'm living in these margins. And when my margins start getting smaller, that eats into other time. Oh, here's a better example. I've heard this one. You have that particular family, that particular person that's been coming to church and then they stop coming for a little while. And you ask them, hey, where you been? What do they tell them? Just off the top of your head.
Busy.
I'm busy. I've been busy. I'm busy. Their margin has decreased. And hey, we all have to watch this. Our margins decrease, we get busy, and where do we start stealing time from? We start stealing time from God. We take His time. I'm busy. Just haven't had time. When our margins decrease, our relational intimacy decreases. We become withdrawn from each other. We become withdrawn from God. We become withdrawn from our kids. We become withdrawn. Because we got to steal time to make up for what we're losing. What we're losing. And see, what we need, and this is the whole point. Why did I use the passage of Mary and Martha? You got Mary in the kitchen, you know, working up a sweat. She's got the headband on, and, you know, sweat's just pouring. She's stirring, you know, stuff, mixing stuff, got a blender out, whatever she's doing, washing dishes. She's sweating, and she ain't got enough time to get everything done. You got Mary just sitting over here in the floor, listening to Jesus. And she's looking through that window there at Mary, and you know, You can just imagine how she feels. The red just starts, her blood pressure just goes up, and she's just thinking, if she was in here helping me, I could be out there listening to Jesus sooner than it is right now. But I got to get all this done. Why did I use this passage of Scripture? Jesus told Martha, you need to come to me. And that's what we need this morning. We need to have a come to Jesus type moment. If you want to get your life you want to get the stress down a little bit, you want to find time to do everything, you start by giving God some time. We start there. We cannot do everything else and try to do it fast enough so at the end of our day, whatever's left over, we can give to God. We got to start by giving God His time first. And we say, God, we're going to give you this margin of our life. If it means I've got to get up 10 minutes early so I can spend 10 minutes with you, I do that. If that means that I only get to watch SportsCenter one time through because they just repeat it all the time, I do that. If that means I need to turn off my phone for 10 minutes a day, so I'm not distracted by someone texting me, so I'm not distracted by an email, so I'm not even distracted by a phone call. God, I am going to give you your time today. We need to have a come to Jesus meeting. We need that kind of moment where we just simply tell God, all right, I'm here. I'm here. If you got to go out in the woods to get away from everything, go get in the woods. That's not such a far-fetched idea. Jesus had personal time with God. It's explained. We have the examples in Scripture. He would get up early in the morning while all his disciples were still snoozing. And he would go up into the mountains or go up into the hills to pray. He realized he couldn't have all these distractions going on for him to have that personal time with God. The thought of me getting up earlier than I have to get up, that's ridiculous. My folks came in last weekend, so Saturday comes, and my dad always wants to go to the Lee County flea market Saturday. And his idea of going to the flea market is he wants to get over there even before the vendors are set up. I'm not lying. That's true. I don't know if he's looking for a good parking spot. The idea of something being set out that he might want and it gets sold before he has a chance to look at it just must really bother him. So he says, hey, we're going to go. This is Friday. You want to go with us? Well, my first question, what time are you leaving? Because we're not going to take away from my margin of sleep. We negotiated a time that was suitable for me. And then we were able to go. We have to have time with God. I want you to look at these last two passages of Scripture. Okay. Sorry. One more time. Now hold on. Right there. Matthew chapter 11. It's supposed to be 28 through 29. Sorry, I must have missed it. It says, come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. One of the most interesting things about people's lives today is just the overall stress level that people are facing.